Hello everyone, time for another video, little update on where we are with the Ducati and just a general back to normal garage video. Yeah, so the first round didn't exactly go to plans, a few things we've had to work on, and but we've got it running right now I think. So my good friend Guy at Moto Edit, we took the bike there and went through a few things to try and figure out why it just wouldn't run right. It was like, it was dead, it was completely flat, seemed to only chime in on one cylinder, and then every now and again it'd get both, and you know, it was terrible. So we cleaned the carbs thoroughly, they were completely stripped through the ultrasonic cleaner. Some people don't like ultrasonic cleaners. I think if it's done right, I don't think there's any issues. You clean it all out, you build them back up. What else did we do? A little bit of a check over, retension the belts, and we sort of rewired the back half of the loom, the ignition side of the loom. It's in two halves kind of. You've got the starting circuit with your solenoid and the battery and all the rest of it, where it all links together, and then the ignition side where you've basically got your pulse coming from the flywheel going to your coils, your CDI units. We've separated the CDI units out. I need to make some mounts and stuff for them, just some rubber to keep them isolated and stop them rattling about. What else did we swap? Oh, HT leads and plug caps, put new ones of those on. Went for a rip up the road and it pulled like an absolute train. I mean, this thing is ridiculous. It's like second gear, I don't know, you say you're doing probably 40 mile an hour, little blip of throttle, and it's vertical. I mean, this thing is powerful. So yeah, I was very pleased that I think we've sorted it. So yeah, next round is Peterborough in a couple of weeks time, and we've got a few things I need to sort for then. Two main ones, I think. It's probably more than that. But the clutch cover, which fell to bits. Sorry Jesse, he printed this for me, Jesse Moore, and it lasted well, but I think it might have had fuel on it or something. I don't think the plastic liked it, but then anyway, it fell to bits. And the right hand footrest, I made it so it's kind of a rubber thing both sides, and I didn't like it. I felt my foot was sort of slipping on it a little bit, so I'm going to take that to bits and probably fabricate sort of a more motocrossy style bear trap sort of footrest on that side. I'll still use the same blade, but I'll just cut off what I've already put onto it and weld sort of a cage on. We'll cut some serrations in the top. I'll do a little update once we've got all these things done. So anyway, I'm going to start pulling the bits off that I need to take off, and yeah, and we'll talk about something else. What's happening in the rest of the world? It's funny times for me, really. I've found myself with a load more time, which I've never had before. I'll not go into details why, but yeah, I've got more time at home now to spend with my family and messing about with bikes, which has got to be a good thing. So, you know, well, this is something I want to do more of, is the video stuff and YouTube and working on the bike. So, you know, I've got a project lined up, the TDM, the beach bike, if anyone's seen that one. What I'm going to do with that, that's going to be pulled to bits, and it blew up, so it needs to come into bits anyway. So once it's in bits, my brother wants to rebuild the engine, which is fine. Getting more and more confident with that sort of thing, but he wants to do it, so I'm not going to stop him. It is half his bike, strictly speaking, so he's gonna have a go at that, and then in the meantime I'm going to get my welding sorted out, and I'm going to build a frame for it. That's my plan. I think I mean I don't mean this with any disrespect to anybody who does motorcycle fabrication work, but I mean, how hard can it be, really? I mean, quote me on that one in a few months' time. Let's see. But you know, I've got all the skills for the rest of the stuff, but I feel like I can probably do that myself. I don't know, I haven't got a frame jig, but I think just for a one-off, I can probably get away without doing it, just using straight edges and sights and string and stuff. You know, they do it old school. But I want to do a sort of, I've spoke to a few people about this. I'm going to do it like an Uber dirt bike, like proper lunatic dirt bike. So the TDM 850, it's a great motor, really powerful. It was awesome when I raced it on the beach. When it worked, that thing is fast. It's just a big heavy pressed steel frame though. It's crap. So I'm going to do it like a dirt bike. Make my own frame. I want to use seat, plastics, swinging arm, all kind of stuff like that out of a YZF or YZ. It doesn't really matter. It's the same. You know, so it and try and use as much stuff and make it look as much like a motocross bike, but then build it with the TDM engine. There's a couple of people who've done similar things with a guy did an MT, Danner's Stibnite Moto. I don't know. Well, I'll put a little link in there. He's a dude. He's done a MT-07 in a modern aluminium YZ frame. That's a cool bike, and yeah, it's like you'll see them in the States that do the big hill climbs, like Widow make ridiculous hill climbs. They're like, they build them where they'll use big big powerful engines there on like nitro and proper lunatic machines, and they build them using sort of frames and plastics and what have you from motocross bikes, and they look cool. Henry Wiles used to race a Willie, I think it was a Willie built, a ER6. So Henry Wiles, famous flat tracker from the USA. He's raced for a long time. He's retired sort of professionally, sort of thing now. He raced one, an ER6 made to look like a KXF. Peoria TT, look that up. He's like the most winningest person from. That's what the Yanks like to call him, a winningest. On his ER6 powered, just like a dirt bike, a motocross bike. So I want to build one of them. That's my plan. I think I'll go upside down forks, YZF yokes, as much dirt bike stuff as I possibly can. Just so I just think, it'd be cool. Why not? Everyone builds stuff what you're used to or what you know. I mean, what I know is motocross bikes and flat track bikes. But, people, the cafe races and stuff have been done to death. And no offence, if you've got one, you've built one, you build it for yourself. That's mega. I just think it's boring. Like, they're all the same. They've all got the same sort of copy and paste eBay seat and heat wrap round the exhaust and a yellow headlight lens, and it's just like, yeah, cool if that's what you're into, but not my sort of thing. Yeah, right. So clutch cover off. You can see the. I'll hold it up close so you can see the printing. It's like a honeycomb effect. It's had, I think it's had fuel drip onto it, and it's just come to bits. It started splitting there. But what I'll do, I'm just going to use this as a template because it's got all the right, the whole PCD and everything. I think I'm probably just going to make an aluminium one, a billet aluminium one. It looks far more complicated than it is, but it is pretty much a turned bowl and then some holes drilled in it, bit of the weight milled off. We'll get that one into work and I'll do that in my spare time. The footrest blade, what I was talking about with it being rubber, I just felt like my boot, I was getting the heel of the boot on it, and it was just it didn't get a good purchase on it. So we'll swap that. We'll make something better for that one. And what else? Well, not really a lot I can do to that now. It's basically prepped up. It's going to want a bit of a wash, and we'll give her a polish up. Hopefully, fingers crossed, Rob will have the bodywork done. It was done before. Everyone said how amazing it looked, but Rob is a perfectionist, and he he's very good at what he does. So he from Impossible Paint Shack, he's got that now, and he's going to finish that, and that will look absolutely stunning. It'll be a show worthy bike when we're done. I mean, a race bike is never really done, is it? But that's one of them things. I've got to put a fuel filter in. I'm waiting for them. I ordered those and they haven't turned up yet, so I'll chase those up, get those in. Right, what else is happening in the world? 450s in bits, engines away having a new top end, and that is basically then a cleaning and rebuilding exercise. Put it all back together again. Needs like new air filter and stuff like that, just bits and bobs, nothing major. Yeah, but yeah, if anyone, going back to the TDM project, got my par weld TIG set up. I need to learn to use that basically. If I can learn to use that and get some good enough welds, there's no reason why I can't build a frame for that. I have got an XT600 frame, or part of frame that's, I don't know, that might work. I might just try that on the back of the engine and just see. The other thing is with the TDM, they have a separate, it's a dry sump, so they have a separate oil tank. Lots of Yamahas do. Most Yamahas, the early YZ400Fs, I think they were oil in frame, which again is essentially just a separate oil tank. That's what that XT is. That is an oil. The frame is an oil tank. It's got the headstock there. It might be one of those where I might just use the headstock and the oil tank just because it's all there. I can soon weld bits to that to make the mounts for the bodywork, the tank. I might even be able to make a standard tank fit then. I don't know, we'll see. That'll be further down the line. But yeah, I'm really keen to get into that one. So we're going to get the Ducati sweet as a nut so I can run that for the rest of the season. Similarly, the 450, I'm going to have to relace a hub for that. The TT this year, new rules for the Pro Class and Interclass, we're running front brakes. Now the thing with running a front brake on a TT, it's if someone has one, everyone's got to have one. Whether you plan on using it or not, you can't just have a few people with them, a few people without. It's a recipe for disaster if not everybody's using one. So yeah, it's got like a spool hub on the front of there. And what I mean by a spool hub, that's like what they run on speedway bikes, things like that, where they call it spool hub. Chopper guys will know what they are. It's basically a plain front hub. There's no brake mounts, there's no other bits on it. It's literally like two flanges where your spokes are mounted off, and it's bored for bearings, and that's literally, it's the most simple hub you can possibly get, which is fine when we're not using front brakes. But now we're going to use the front brake, so I'm going to have to probably dismantle. I've got some old wheels that I used to run in my 252 stroke, run them on the beach for years. The rims are toast. They're rotten. But the front, the hubs will be absolutely fine. Bit of a wire brush and they'll be mint again. So I'm probably going to use that. I'll cut the spokes out of that one, because I doubt they'll even undo, they're that rotten. And I'll probably just relace it to the white. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some dismantling, I think, but that's a game for another day. What I might do is that might make a good video, relacing a wheel. I've done a couple now. I've got a balancing setup. It's one of those jobs where it's far more simple than you think. It's a bit like taking forks to bits. Once you're in and you're doing it, it's not that difficult. It's nuts and bolts. But yeah, let's crack on. We'll think some more stuff to talk about in the next video. I've not really got anything else to say other than like usual bike stuff, but yeah, again, I've not really had many suggestions for videos what people want to see. So get in those comments. Tell me what you want to see. Tell me what you want me to talk about, what you want me to do on video that you want to see. Give us a like, give us a share, turn your notifications on. All the best.